Hey everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. I am Dan Clubbe and I am bringing you just a mini news update from out in Leipzig. As you can see behind me, I've made my way down to the Red Bull Arena where we are expecting Arne Slot and at least one of the players in the not too distant future to come and do some press conference media duties just sort of behind me where you can see all the banners and the paraphernalia Red Bull wise. It's a strange stadium actually, just quickly before I dive into it. You can see the Red Bull Arena on the top there, and that's in a couple of different places. I've walked right round its entirety in the past sort of half an hour or so, but it's proper like Fort Knox. Like there's no like security or stewards around. There's a few TV things going on over the other side, but there's no like, nobody's stopping you doing anything necessarily, but you just can't get any closer to the actual stadium. Like it's just that building there that you can see, that sort of replicates, and it kind of gets a bit more even like grandiose, a bit more like armed guardish as you go around. The actual building and the architecture and the stuff that's sort of surrounding the stadium just makes it, like I say, proper lockdown vibes. But yeah, it's a nice area as well, really. The whole Leipzig's been bossed up until this point, to be fair. Lots of nice historical type buildings, if that's your sort of thing. Yeah, news wise, obviously Arne Slot will be speaking, like I say, in about 2 hours time at time of recording. Might give a bit more, shed some more light on what's going on in terms of the players, but we know Federico Chiesa, Conor Bradley and Diogo Jota were not spotted in training earlier on today, and then subsequently they haven't travelled either, which means that the 21-man strong squad that's headed over from Liverpool point of view is without those three, obviously without Harvey Elliott and Alisson Becker as well, as expected. Hopefully we can see Harvey Elliott back sooner rather than later. I think he's on the road to recovery at the moment, but there are a few surprise inclusions in a way, but I guess that is the trio that have missed out. Means that Harvey Davis, Trey Naoni and Tyler Morton come on this trip. Trey in particular, everyone who's heard me talk about that kid will know just how impressed I am constantly and how excited I am by his potential. But a Champions League away trip might not necessarily have been sort of the chosen pathway for Liverpool. It's great experience for him, and if he gets on the pitch tomorrow night behind me, then even better. But it's not really where he needs to be at in terms of his career development right now in his pathway. But yeah, again, boss experience and properly talented player, so any sort of little taste of nights like this will only stand him in good stead and sort of further aid what is a properly exciting talent, like I say. So yeah, shame on Jota. Obviously we're waiting to find out. Obviously Arne Slot, like I say, might give a nod towards why exactly he has missed out. We know he got landed on once again. He always seems to be the one getting the proper innocuous sort of knocks and bumps and bruises. It's kind of a tale of who he is as a footballer, isn't it, really? He doesn't shy away from anything, always wins to put his body on the line, all that sort of stuff. Just that gnarly little fighter in the round, which I love about Diogo Jota, by the way, but it does mean he picks up far too many of these types of injuries, to be honest with you. Just hopefully it's not too bad. Obviously we know, like I say, he got landed on basically in the Chelsea game. He's had rib problems before as well, so fingers crossed it's nothing too serious. He did play on for a little bit, as we know, in that Chelsea game before he was replaced by the then excellent Darwin Núñez, so fingers crossed the fact he was able to continue doesn't mean it's a broken rib or anything, or a cracked rib or nothing like that. Just, I know, some bruising, potentially a bit of swelling, waiting for that to go down, who knows. As for Conor Bradley, we haven't really heard what it is Conor Bradley's done. He was one of the issues that Arne Slot raised post-international break, and obviously wasn't involved at all in that Chelsea game. Not involved today, not involved tomorrow night either. Obviously we're waiting to see about Arsenal, but I did see a report earlier on today, and it was basically suggesting that it could be a few weeks out for Conor Bradley, could be without him on the sidelines for some time now, which is a huge blow, because again, we know how brilliant Conor Bradley is. And the Chiesa one, where'd you start with the Chiesa one? Like that, just, it's baffling really. Obviously there was so much conversation. One of the most sort of spoken about aspects of the Chiesa signing was his injury record and the fact he had that ACL problem. Then it was recurring injuries, little problems thereafter, which can often be the case when you're out for so long with something so serious. You've underwent surgery, proper sort of strict rehab, and you've tried to get yourself back up to speed. Often there is sort of problems that come thereafter, but as well as how talented he is and how much of a bargain signing it was, almost the next words out of anybody's mouth were, yeah, but the injury track record, the red flags in the round, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of us could put that to one side, again, given just how bargain it was, just about 8, 9, 10, 12 million, whatever it was. It's crazy cheap, I can't even remember now. But yeah, I think we've seen him a handful of times now, mostly cameo appearances off the bench, and all of a sudden, pre-international break so he's got a little problem. I don't expect it to be too bad. I think a lot of the messaging from Arne Slot was ahead of Crystal Palace, was we'll see how he is in the Friday training session, and he might even be able to travel. That was sort of the last we heard on him. All of a sudden, he didn't travel. He had a whole international break off, of course, wasn't involved with Italy in the slightest, didn't travel, and then hasn't been seen since the international break either. So we're 2 weeks and a bit removed from Arne Slot's last update, and here we are. He hasn't come over to Leipzig either, so a little bit concerning. Whether it's just something that's dragged on longer than expected, I'm not sure, of course. But yeah, frustrating because, again, we know how brilliant Federico Chiesa is. We want to see him play for Liverpool Football Club. That's ultimately what it boils down to. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can see that in the not too distant future. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow night though. I am looking forward to it. I had a chat with Kevin Hatchard before, Bundesliga expert, of course, for our Oppo preview. Yeah, all looking good. RB Leipzig are playing some good football, second in the Bundesliga. Very free-flowing, very attacking, as RB Red Bull sides often are. There was a Jurgen Klopp factor that we discussed as well, now involved in Red Bull, of course, or soon to be involved in Red Bull, as it is. Yeah, boss, I think that's it. I've seen the players heading over here. Hopefully I'll see them coming in soon, or at least Arne Slot on one of them. Anyway, that'd be nice. Yeah, I just want to say as well, obviously I'm not there for the charity live stream tomorrow for Zoe's place, but rest assured, you don't need me, quite frankly. It's got to be an incredible day. It really is. The guest list is an absolute joke. I've said it multiple times now. You've probably seen it all over the place on socials, and lots of people saying very similar things over recent weeks. But I do urge you, if you can, just come along and have a watch. And great if you donate, even better, but just come and watch, because every penny we make, ad revenue wise, etc., will be going to help save Zoe's place in Liverpool. Which, if you don't know what it's all about, again, come and check out our live stream tomorrow, as well as all the boss entertainment we're going to have for you. We will be sort of hammering home that message, just how important this resource is to families around Liverpool. So yeah, hopefully that raises an absolute ton of money. Hopefully the Reds get the job done a bit later on at night as well, and hopefully I enjoy my time in there. I'm off to pick my ticket up soon. That will be happening in the next hour or so, I imagine. Need to head back to town on the tram, big tram, City Leipzig, if you didn't know. A lot of nudism as well. A lot of nudism, I've noticed. There's a statue just over there with two naked fellas on. And I went to a gym before, and the steam room and sauna was, yeah, there was a lot of nudism. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Sounds like say, so no Chiesa, no Conor Bradley, no Diogo Jota, no Harvey Elliott as expected, no Alisson Becker. The rest of them all sound. Be interested to see what team Slot names tomorrow night. I won't have time to give you a score prediction tomorrow because I won't be on anything, but I'll say Liverpool 3, RB Leipzig 1, and I'll say Szoboszlai against his former side. I'll say Mohamed Salah, and I will say Cody Gakpo. Sound. There you go. All done. See you soon.